Charles, your thoughts?
It's a complicated case because there's certainly a plausible excuse for the Sessions' actions, the ones he presented today. First, he was never asked if you had contact. Why would you perjure yourself answering a question you were never asked? And his excuse is that he heard, as we saw in the question from Al Franken, he heard for the first time a report about constant contacts between surrogates and Russian intelligence agents. So he thinks to himself, this is what his answer was today, I'm a surrogate, I didn't have constant contact. So he jumps in and says, no, I didn't have a contact. Now, the question is, which would have been a plausible answer? Question is, did he not remember that he'd met with the Russian? Possibly. Or perhaps he thought for an instant, yes, I might have met once, but it wasn't about the campaign. But the problem with all of this is that he's had several weeks since that incident. If that's all it was, an innocent mistake, and he forgot about the meeting, he should simply have gone to the committee, written them, and said, oh, as he said in his press conference, I should have added, yes, I had 2 meetings. He never did. So why? To me, it reminds me of the Flynn case. This is a cover-up in search of a crime. What would have been the big deal about having a meeting with the Russian ambassador? Now, the other thing that makes it a little bit fishy is he's an old pro. Does he really think the Russian ambassador schedules a meeting with him in September because Sessions is a foreign policy giant and a strategic thinker? Or was the meeting because he's the first senator and very close to first senator to support Trump, wants to learn about the Trump campaign? So I think the recusal was absolutely necessary. And if there isn't another shoe that drops, he's okay. But if another shoe does, he's gone.
It seems that every time someone talks about the intelligence that they've seen, what they know, at least when the Republicans are talking about it, they say there is zero evidence of collusion, cooperation, or communication. Now we're finding out these different communication points. Mike Flynn obviously is talking to the Russian ambassador, but he didn't tell Vice President Pence the right details about that call. And now Jeff Sessions. I mean, is there there? We just don't know.
That's the puzzle. That's the question. There's all this. There are all these cover-ups. There are all these stories that, in the Flynn case and here in the Sessions case, turn out to be not true. But as you say, there is not a scintilla of evidence of improper contacts or collaboration or working with the Russians or doing something that they shouldn't have done. So that leaves you with the question that's at the heart of this. Why would they not? Why would Sessions, why did Flynn never admit to the meeting he had and to discussion of sanctions? There's nothing wrong with that. And now with Sessions, why didn't he simply correct the record? Surely he said he had 2 aides in the meeting in his office. So the aides must have told him, or his scheduler, yes, you did have a meeting. Why didn't he just admit it? What's the problem? And that's the question at the root of all this. It gives the impression there was something improper, and yet there is no evidence of it.
I mean, clearly it's a staff issue because someone should have told him after he said what he said in that hearing, wait a second, remember we met with the Russian ambassador?
You know, what did Sessions know about remembering the meeting? And when did he remember it? And why did he not admit to it? That's the question.